Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Today is not Friday. Today is Erev Shabbos, and we're turning our Friday into Erev Shabbos. I want to thank our generous series sponsors, Many Tzvora Fishman, Schorr Friedel, memory of Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, in memory of Mendy's father. This turn Friday into Erev Shabbos is also dedicated by Amanda Dreyer Kalaski in memory of her Zayda Harry, Tzvi Yehuda ben Moshe HaKohen, a Holocaust survivor, whose Yortzeit is this Motzei Shabbos. His neshama should have an aliyah. Thank you so much for your generosity. And we're davening, as always, for our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael, safety, security, besoros, tovos, yeshuas, v'nechamos. They should have a Shabbos of shalom, as everybody davens for, longs for, and deserves. They should be zocha to have. I want to share with you an insight from Rabbi Efrem Schorr Shlita, a new sefer halakach v'halibov Nezer Parsha on Shemos, Parsha Vayakel, our Parsha that begins Vayakel, Kihila, gather the Jewish people, Shabbos, the holy, the sacred, the Heilige Shabbos. Tchilas the Parsha Medaber Minyan Shabbos. Yadua ma shehiksha Chiddushei Harim. Chiddushei Harim wonders the following anomaly and question that offers an insight into Shabbos. Lama b'parshios b'amtziva HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'mashal asiyas HaMishkan. Why, when it comes to the parsha where Hashem commands us about the Mishkan, nichtav a parsha Shabbos achar asiyas HaMishkan, ki asiyas HaMishkan nichtav a parsha Shumat Tetzava. The Shabbos, then parsha Kisis. On the one hand, the command for Shabbos follows the Mishkan. The Mishkan is Shumat Tetzava, and then we have the command of Shabbos in Kisisa. But then, after the commandment of Shabbos, but when Moshe gives it, now we have Shabbos Vayakel and only then Mishkan. So Hashem has Mishkan then Shabbos, and Moshe Rabbeinu has Shabbos and then Mishkan. This was the question of the great Ger Rebbe, the Chiddushei Harim. The order, is it first Mishkan then Shabbos, or first Shabbos and then Mishkan? And said the Chiddushei Harim. The Gemara says, Misha talk about Shabbos, yochal Shabbos, that if a person wants to enjoy Shabbos, you have to prepare. Only when you prepare, only when you shop, cook, set a table, clean, shower, come with a Dvar Torah, come with a story, come with a great question, only then can you enjoy Shabbos. The Bechinas of Shabbos tali b'hachana, she'echen atzma adam kodem Shabbos. That Shabbos requires preparation. Shabbos requires advance. You have to turn your Friday into Erev Shabbos. Friday's not Friday. I was trying to schedule a meeting with a group of people, and one person said it's got to be before Chatzos. I don't do work after Chatzot. And that happens to be our work is not work. It's holy work, and I don't think it qualifies as work. But he said, once Chatzos Friday comes, I only talk about Shabbos things. Only Shabbos. Not everybody has that luxury. No judgment on those who have to work on Friday, even Friday afternoon. There's no halacha. But what a beautiful idea. You turn Friday into Erev Shabbos when you say, as of Chatzos, if it's not Shabbos related, I don't talk. We'll have to schedule it before Chatzos or schedule it the beginning of next week. But if it's after Chatzos, if it ain't Shabbos, I'm not talking about it. Ooh, wow, what a beautiful thing. Halavai, we should all be zocha to be in a position to be able to live that way and to want to live that way, because you got to prepare for Shabbos. A person, only the one who's Toreach and Erev Shabbos, yochal b'Shabbos, yochal b'Shabbos. On the other hand, the Zohar Kadosh says, the Heilige Zohar says, Ahu yomim mizbarchem min hakoshisa yomini la'in, that it's from Shabbos that we derive all the bracha for the following week. Whatever is going to happen in the week ahead, the defeat of Iran, the protection of the Jewish people, the closing of business deals, the parnasa, the shir, whatever is going to happen in the next week is only going to happen in the merit of this Shabbos. Shabbos therefore serves a dual role and a dual purpose. Shabbos is the end of last week, and Shabbos is the beginning of next week. Shabbos plays both roles, says Rav Avrum Schorr. According to Chiddushei Harim, Misheish bekocho mechen atzma Shabbos kodesh karoi yochal hagir b'Shabbos l'malas hatzumos hasagos nizgavos omnam av mishlohechen atzma Shabbos kamokom ish bekoch Chiddushei Shabbos lashbir l'saken atzma yomim abayim. Even if you didn't prepare for Shabbos, but nevertheless on Shabbos, Shabbos can prepare you for the week ahead. And based on this insight that Shabbos is both the bookend, Shabbos is the end of the previous week and the beginning of the next week. So the Rebbe of Shmuelka says, the Gemara in Shabbos Kuf Yud Ches, the Jewish people would only observe 2 Shabbos miyad nigolim, we'd immediately be redeemed. We need 2 Shabboses. What, 2 Shabboses in a row? No. The same Shabbos. If we would observe Shabbos as the end of the last week and observe Shabbos as the beginning of next week, and we would draw out from both energies and both components and both ideas of Shabbos. If we'd see Shabbos as the end of last week, we'd prepare, we'd get ready, it'd be the payoff, it'd be the tachlis. If we'd see Shabbos the end of next week, but Shabbos would simultaneously be the beginning of next week. That Shabbos is the day from which all bracha. Shabbos we dream. Shabbos we have ideas. Shabbos we want to be huge. Shabbos is the preparation for next week. Ilu shamru shtei Shabbosos. If we're able to live and experience and derive both components of Shabbos, the end of last week, the beginning of next week, then miyad nigolam, then we would immediately be redeemed. Immediately be redeemed. Shabbos is the bracha that's the end of last week. but Shabbos brings the bracha that will be next week. And that's our homework this week for Turn Friday into Erev Shabbos. First of all, prepare. If we want Shabbos to be beautiful, we got to prepare. If you have the ability as of Chatzos to disconnect and shut down and turn to Shabbos, beautiful. If you don't feel guilty or ashamed. Not a lot of people can. But if you can, beautiful. In some way, turn our Friday into Erev Shabbos. Let it be the beautiful culmination, the end of the last week. But Shabbos itself, let it be the beginning of a beautiful week ahead, a week in which all bracha will flow. To really lean in and to love and to fully embrace and experience Shabbos in such a way that only bracha will come. May we hear Besoros Tovos, Yeshuas, V'nachamos. May we hear good things for Klal Yisrael.
Amém.